Good to see you. Yeah. Good.
Claire, morning. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Mary. How are you? Okay. Morning, Tom. How you doing?
Jill, hello. Tell me, I know you obviously for many years, but for people that don't know you, give us a bit about your background. Where are you from? What part of France? How did you get involved in racing?
So, well, I'm born in Nice. I lived there for like 5 years. This is where I started go-kart in a small track, which was not a track actually. It was on a parking, but it was a temporary track, you know. My father was managing this circuit, and when I was 3.5 years, I started driving, like really slow, you know. But yeah, I started there. Then after that, we moved into a city which is called Gap, for another track, and I kept driving there. And when I was 10, we moved in Brignoles. This is where really my racing started. I was 10 years old. I started my first races there, and then I grew up until 15, and still in go-kart. So it was quite a long time. I was driving go-kart actually, already 12 years, until a series called Formula A in go-kart, which was the highest level in go-kart. So it was pretty good. And after that, I met Nicolas. We signed a contract, and I started the single-seater Formula Renault. I won the championship in France. Then Formula 3, finished third, and then Formula 3 again, I won. And after that, first year of GP2, I did 2 years. Finished third twice, and well, actually I forgot before that. In 2009, I signed a contract with Ferrari. Then the FDA, so I was the first there, and then it was like a big push, you know, to get in Formula 1. I was training a lot with them, driving sometimes, so having an experience in Formula 1, which was really useful because we don't have any more tests now. And last year before F1, I did third driver in Force India and World Series by Renault, which was good for experience for sure. Finished second there, and then went to Marussia.
So you've been racing since you were 3.5. Is that? I mean, is it in your blood, or is it something that you've just always had? Basically, my father had a go-kart track when I'm born, you know. So I was involved straight away, and then my family has been racing. My grandfather and his brother were racing in the years 60 to 70, so it was already in my blood for sure. Yeah. Formula 1, was it always the goal, always the dream from when you were a small child? Yeah, it was always a dream. When I started racing, before that not really, but when I started racing, it was a big dream to become a Formula 1 driver, you know. And I didn't really think about I could be until when I came to single seater, because in go-kart you are so far away from Formula 1 that you can't. I mean, I could not even imagine that I would have been a Formula 1 driver. When did you first know that you had a talent, a special talent? Well, I never really, you know, I don't like to say I have special talent and stuff like this. So basically, when I was go-kart, I knew that I was quick, because for sure I was 15. I was racing against people who were like 28, 32, 34. So I was one of the few young drivers to go that quick, you know, with this experienced driver. Actually, I had also John Lancaster with me, who was really quick in go-kart, still in cars anyway. And yeah, at that time I could feel that I had the potential for sure, but that I had to keep my feet on the ground because it was still really far away. When Nicolas Todt picked you up and signed you on a contract, I know he was very excited at the time because he'd found you in go-karts and could nurture your career all the way through. How important has he been for you in your career? Yeah, he's been massively important. You know, my family didn't have the money to make me start in single-seater, so we had to find something anyway. And I think it was one of the best solution I could find. You know, Nicolas is really good. He did his job perfectly. He found out the budget to go through all the series before Formula One. So it was just my chance, you know.
How important is that? I mean, it's so difficult in this day and age. We look at so many youngsters never make it through. How important is it to have somebody like Nicolas, you know, a good manager who knows how it works?
Yeah, it's massively important. If you don't have the right people with you, you won't get anywhere, you know. And Nicolas is really good for that because obviously he found, as I said, all the budget, and he's really good to manage. So I have been lucky, you know, for that. I'm sure that many people are really good too, but they don't have the right people with them, so they won't make it, you know. So this is part of the game, but sometimes it can be. Yeah, it could have been really much more difficult for me to get into Formula One if I didn't find the good people.
Do you remember the first time you ever drove a Formula One car?
Yeah, I do. It was in Jerez, 2009 with Ferrari. So it was impressive for sure, you know. And basically, I have a small story because on the out lap, you know, you always do out in, and on the out lap, I drove Formula 3 before, so the power is massively different. But I was not going through the revs because my gear, you know, I was not changing the gear on the light, so it was not on the right time. So I say, yeah, okay, it's not that quick, you know. And then the engineer say, but why you don't change the gear at the right time? I say, sorry, I didn't know it was, I had to change on the light. So the next lap I changed it on the right time, and I was like, whoa, that's massive, you know. It was a bit scary actually, so that was funny.
So you were short shifting?
Yeah, I was short shifting everywhere, but I didn't notice, you know, because the sound is much higher. So
yeah.
Anyway, it was nice.
What was impressive? Was it the acceleration or the braking the first time?
I think the most impressive was braking, because braking was like, first time I braked, I had to go back on throttle, you know, because it was just so massive. And but then everything is so perfect compared to other series that everything is impressive actually.
And for you as a kid, the first time you jump in a Formula One car and it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, that was also special, you know. For sure, to drive Formula One for the first time is special, but to drive a Ferrari, it's even more. And again, I've been lucky to have this chance to drive a Ferrari and to still have the opportunity to drive one.
You've had a very impressive season and a half in Formula One. I remember we did an interview, was it China last year, and even then, so early in your career, people were saying you were the next Alonso, the new Alonso. That's how impressive your early races had been. Do you feel how impressive your year and a half has been? Do you feel how highly regarded you are in the sport?
I could feel something different after Monaco. Before that, I don't pay a lot of attention because I don't want to focus too much on this, you know. Obviously, when you do good result, it's good, so it can be good to look at. But when you start to have difficulties, if you keep looking at this, you will struggle more, you know. So I just try to be focused 100% on my races, and that's why I don't look really at what people say. But yeah, after Monaco anyway, I could not skip this, you know. And for sure, it was big. Everybody were trying to talk to me after the race, so it was a really good result for us. So yeah, for sure, I can see that something good is going well for me at the moment. So I have to keep this moment and keep doing as I did before, not trying to think too much about this and trying to just focus on my races. This is the target for me.
How difficult is that over the last year and a half? You know, putting in, as you say, you could put in the greatest race in the world, but if you're coming home in 14th, 15th place, it can go unnoticed.
Yeah, this is really frustrating for sure. If you look just last week, I did a great race in terms of performance compared to Caterham and my teammate, but people don't notice that because I finished 15, you know. So this is sometimes not easy, but I think my target is just to do my best, make the team happy, and then if they're happy, for sure, people talk, and the other team will know, and this is important, you know, and I don't have to really think about keeping impressive the people outside, because I can't, you know, I can't do miracle with what we have. The team knows that, I know that. I won't do Q2 every weekend because we don't have the performance for that at the moment, and I won't score points every races if other people don't have issues, you know. So I have to just try to do my best with what I have, and then we'll see.
Monaco was amazing. When you talk about you can't produce a miracle, I wouldn't say Monaco was a miracle. It was an incredible race, though. How did it feel when you were inside? Because you had to come back from penalties. You know, you had a time penalty at the end of the race as well, and you still finished well within the points. How did that race feel? How did it come together? And to do it so close to home as well, so close to Nice, must have been incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible for sure, because nearly all my family was there. So first of all, it was really good to do a result like this with all of them. And then for the team, you know, to score the first points after 1.5 years was just great for me. You know, I wanted to do that at one point, and yeah, I did it. We did it. So it was a great race. As you said, we had many issues, but still, I think it was our moment, you know. So we had to score points at this race, and that we did. So it was great.
But on a track that you can't pass traditionally, you know, that it's always difficult to make up positions. You in a Marussia around the streets of Monaco came home 8th on the track, and with the time penalty 9th. But an astonishing performance. How did it feel in the? I mean, did you feel it coming to you in the car?
Yeah, I could feel that something good was coming for me, because I was just pushing really hard and nothing was happening. You know, I had no problem when I overtook Kobayashi as well. It was a tricky one. It was with, I think I touched 3 or 4 times and nothing braked. You know, so I think everything was with us at that race.
You've recently tested for Ferrari again at Silverstone. How good was that, being back in the big team?
Yeah, it was really good. Good experience, you know. For sure, it's always good to drive another car in the middle of the season. I saw where we have to improve. Anyway, we knew what was not great for us, but now we're sure, because we tried a car who can fight for the top 5. So yeah, it was just great thing. But after that, it was a bit difficult to come back in reality, you know. So it was not easy in Hockenheim, but now I'm fully back on Marussia.
Do you think that call will come again, but the real call to step up properly to Ferrari?
Well, I don't know. It's tricky, but for sure it won't come next year, because next year they have contract with both driver, and that's why I'm not thinking about this. Same as the people talking, you know. I'm doing the same approach with the teams. I think my manager is really good at handling that kind of stuff. So I just trust him 100% and race, do what I can on track, and then it's not my job.
Will you be Formula 1 World Champion, do you think, in your heart?
Well, I don't want to say I will, because it's wrong for me to say that. Nobody knows, but for sure I want, and I will do all what I can to become one day. And if I can't, I would have no regrets.